It's a life of a fisherman you wouldn't understand. Something you can't feel on dry land. You gotta get your arms way up in a cage and set the hook on smallmouth bass, and then you'll understand. You gotta get your hands on a Shimano reel and a G-Loomis rod. I bet you like what you feel. Step on the deck, give it a whirl. Hello, welcome to my world.
What's going on, all you Facebook Live and YouTube Live fishing freaks? Larry, Slack, Jared, Sloan in the house already. What's up, fellows? First and foremost, Jared was in Texas last week, and he wasn't on the live show. But I want to apologize to you folks out there in YouTube land. You're probably like, man, Tyler is not live, which is, I mean, I was live, but I wasn't live on the show. But I was live. I just absolutely done the most bonehead thing ever. So I use a platform called StreamYard, and it's a really cool program. Pretty expensive, to be honest with you. I probably look for something new going forward. It's like $500 a year, which is out of pocket for me, which is crazy. But my StreamYard account is linked to my school StreamYard account, so I can stream the football games. Last week I went live on my Dawson Bride Technology Lab page, talking about fishing for 2 hours, or an hour and a half, which I'm sure people were on there like, what is this? Like, what is this guy doing? So I apologize for those of you guys who didn't see me out there on YouTube land. Strix Marine in the house, land, home of new Speed Shine he's got going on there. Got some a lot of other cool stuff. We'll talk about in just a second. So, JR, welcome back to the good old state of Kentucky.
Man, I got there too early, so I'm a little bummed out. But the Toyota Series was the same time I was down there, and I was actually looking at it, and I would have finished in the top 20 for the pros. So that's pretty cool. Strick said baby bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was 3 and 4 pounders, which is obviously better than up here, but I was really hoping to get a 5, and it was just a little bit too early. But it was a beautiful, beautiful lake. I mean, that lake is just so massive. I think I looked it up, and it is in like the top 20 in the country, but obviously nowhere near as some of these other lakes that everybody gets on up north.
Yeah, so I mean, at least you were, in 70, 80 degree water, or 70 to 80 degree air temperature. What was the water temperature down there?
Like mid 50s. So I was kind of hoping that when I got there it'd be 60, but the highest I ever saw there was 62. The majority of the time is 55, and that big storm went through on Tuesday. That kind of put them in a funk too. But I don't know. I mean, I really love that lake. It's beautiful. It's clean. It's the one thing about it is pretty desolate. It's a long way away. But I definitely did the most of my damage on a IMX Pro bladed jig rod, and a majority of the time a jackhammer, sometimes the Evo, sometimes the Thunder Cricket. I always forget the name of that. There's more fish in one creek down there than all of Ohio, other than Erie. Yep, I would have to agree. I mean, it is pretty stacked. I mean, it takes a ton of pressure very well. But one thing that I definitely learned is I went down there, and I don't know if you guys are as crazy as I am about getting the right setup for the right bait. I am crazy with specifically a chatterbait, and the thing that I've liked the most actually has been the an 8-3-1 ratio on a chatterbait, which probably nobody will agree with me, but personally, I really like it as long as you can feel that blade vibrate. When you feel the blade start vibrating, you slow it down.
Yeah, man, Jared, I've seen that. Gunnersville has been turning out some bags. See, I saw that they had a tournament down there this past weekend at Gunnersville. 25 pounds landed you in 10th place. 10th place, 20 bags was all the way like 49th spot.
Oh my Lord.
Hey, Carl says the exact same thing. Gunnersville's on fire. Carl just got back from there. I saw that he was fishing down there at Gunnersville. Just to let you guys know, Grayson is not on fire all day Sunday and never had a sniff. 42-degree water temperature, in case you're wondering. Carl said he was in that one. 1885. That's a pretty good bag, man. That's anytime you get on there. It's just like St. Clair. I went there and fished as a co-angler several times in a BFL or BFL, and it's crazy. I had 19 pounds, 19 and a half, or I had a little over 19 pounds as a co-angler and finished 13th.
First place was 31-34. Shoot. Yeah,
I saw that Ryan Salzman was down there. He had like 25 pounds, and
he guides there.
What is it?
I said he guides there. He should be doing that good.
Should be, but it's just like this past weekend they had the Open down at Kentucky Lake. Guys, if you guys are not following Matt Robertson on any kind of social media, you are doing yourself a disservice. That dude is like my spirit animal.
Oh,
so for practice, he's got that on him boat that's got it's obviously it's pretty simplistic to understand that they're a pro. You see a wrapped boat 90% of the time they're getting paid to fish, but he has that ugly stick boat and it sticks out like a sore thumb. Well, him and his wife for practice went to like Harbor Freight or somewhere down there local to them and bought $70 worth of black electrical tape and completely blacked out his wrap on his boat with electrical tape. Like,
that's hilarious.
That's crazy. Yeah, but he was freaking smoking them. Like, but he, that's his home lake, and I think that we talked about it with Zaldane when he was on here. Like, I think that the home lake jitters is something that can get anybody. Like Matt Robertson, like I said, he is an absolute hammer on Kentucky Lake. We know this. He's won multiple times down there. Matter of fact, he made the first Bassmaster Classic appearance that he ever made down on Kentucky Lake in Barkley. He ended up finishing third, had a crap first day, or he'd have probably won it.
Yeah, that dude is hilarious. And him catching all those fish on daggone ugly stick is pretty cool.
I think that the one thing that he has done for Ugly Stick is that he's brought them full circle. Like, I don't fish, I don't fish Ugly Stick, obviously. Shimano and G Loomis is all I fish, but like, look at all the people that are fishing their rods now that didn't before, but also look at the quality of rods that they're producing. Like, I picked some of them up, like they sell them at Walmart, like the Matt Robertson series stuff, and they're like $100, but they're like decent rods for what they are. And we were just talking about that. I was talking about it somebody, or actually JR and I were talking about an hour ago. I was talking to somebody also about it, but like, it's amazing what a couple ounces of a rod will do to you by making 10,000 casts a day. That's one of the things that I am drawn to a Shimano Poison Adrena a lot. I think I have a picture coming out on our Facebook page tomorrow that is plumb stupid. I sent it to JR yesterday. At some point, you have to realize that you just have way too much stuff. And I was calculating rods and reels and stuff that I have in my boat. If my boat ever sinks, I'm just going to drown with it. Andrew Six in the house.
What up, man?
Mark Hickey, what's up, brother?
YJW.
Yo.
Well, I would like to go to Gunnersville, that's for sure.
Yep. So I have a trip. Well, first off, let's talk about the next couple weeks. Saturday. First day of Derby season for me. I'm going down to Cave Run Lake fishing a tournament with Lewis County Lunkers. I've never been to Cave Run this early. I've only been to Cave Run 3 times in my life, and I fish with Lewis County every time when I'm down there. It is an open club, meaning that you can go there, pay your dues, and then fish. So I don't quote me on this, but I think it's like $30 a person per year for dues, and then like $20 a person for the tournament. So I don't quote me on this, but I think it'll cost you $50 to get in the tournament. Quick note, if you want to fish that this weekend, more than welcome to do so. Obviously, I have nothing to do with the club. It's a great group of guys. Brandon and those guys having a great thing going on. But one of the things that I will mention is they're fishing the Alfrey ramp, and you have to have a parking pass to park there. You cannot buy them online. You got to buy them at like the marina there, or there's like a tackle shop down the road. The tackle shop is not open in the morning before the tournament, so you're either going to be an hour late getting in there, or you're going to have somebody get you one. I always have Brandon get mine. They're like $10, I think, for the day, or $5. I can't remember what it was, but you have to have it. They will ticket you. I've heard. I've never got a ticket there because I've always had one, but that is something to take into consideration. But again, I think it's like 8 to 3, I think, is a tournament time. Maybe it's 7:30 to 3. I'm not sure. You can get on Lewis County Lunkers Facebook page or the group, and it's posted in there. Matter of fact, I'll look right here. So I don't lead anybody astray.
Yeah, I'm ready to go too, Andrew. That would be fun. How are they catching them down there? I'm sure Jared and Carl know since they were talking about it, but probably a little bit too early for frogging, but maybe they are. It's probably never too early for frogging there. Most grass I've ever seen.
Cave Run, Saturday, March 15th, which is this Saturday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. again at the Alfrey ramp. Next weekend, Saturday, March 22nd, they're fishing Grayson at the Bruin ramp. I will not be able to attend there because Jared Sloan and I will be out there, throwing around with some of the best sticks in the area. I know Chris Malone, I think, is fishing at him, and Whitney Stevens. I'm pretty sure I saw their name on the list. Kevin Martin and Ricky Barnett's going to be out there. Like Jimmy Boone's going to be out there. Probably Jared Witt. There's like all these big hammers that are going to be out there. Spring Banger tournament, that's in 2 weeks, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, Sunday. It's a 2-day tournament. Going to be a big deal. And those are some tournaments coming up. If you guys want to get your feet wet into some tournaments, well, I think the Spring Banger is full. You might reach out to Jack Collins to see if there's anything there. But again, the Lewis County Lunkers group, I cannot speak highly enough of those dudes. JR fished a tournament there with me last year, I believe it was, with them. Again, they're just no BS. They show up, they fish, they have a good time, they rib each other, and they go home. It's not, there's no, it was just nice to go there and fish. We're going to have the Casting for Kids tournament coming up soon here in mid-April, I think it is. Or when is that?
Yeah, coming up soon. We need to get Chris back on the show to kind of talk about things, and definitely like to get some more people on the show to talk about Casting for Kids. It's something that we're passionate about. We want to get people involved and help them out. I mean, the amount of money that they have donated and helped out kids, and really putting a lot of camaraderie and community in the fishermen in our area. So I definitely always want to promote them.
Yeah, for sure. Again, They do have. Let's see here. Checking on their
Rattle
page.
traps and jackhammers, man. That's right up my alley. I would love to fish that. If you can find a place for a rattle trap to land in Gunnersville where it's not going to land in a mat.
Yeah. Let's see. They have the looks like the Douglas Lake tournament is May 3rd. I'm trying to check out here when that Casting for Kids tournament is. My internet is not letting me see internet. It's
I
April
think it's like
12th.
April 11th or 12th, I think.
All right, so that had me worried because I'm glad because that's the week before I leave to go on the trip. I was hoping that I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fish and then not be there. So it's the 12th, I think, 11th, 12th. That's coming up soon. Pretty excited about that. That tournament's full, I'm sure of it by a long shot. 160 boat field, and there's always like a few stragglers. Usually it says like, oh, it's 160, and it turns into 162, 163.
Yeah, no
Mark, you're headed to Cave Run for muskie or where? It's loaded with muskie out here. I've never caught one. I do know that you better make sure your graph has a good mapping card because up the river is just full of trees and stumps and things, I've been told. I've been too scared to run up that way. I do have a map card now that has it on there, so I may run up that way now. I don't know. I spend most of my time down towards the dam. I don't want to do the typical deal. Mark, get a hold of me when you come up this way because it's literally like an hour from my house. But again, it's one of those deals where, I don't want to be that guy out there scoping, but I know nobody wants to see that. But I did see that Zona made a whole video or a whole series, like a whole actual episode of Zona's Awesome Fishing Show talking about Mega Live 2. And it was funny because like his intro to his show said, I made a forward-facing sonar video for two reasons. One, because it gets people riled up, and two, there's nobody really talking about it. And I was like, wow, that's the understatement of the year. Everybody's talking about it, but I think it's funny because, like, there's two camps for forward-facing sonar. To be honest with you, I could live without it. Matter of fact, I would much more enjoy my fishing time than going out there scoping. But I can tell you what, if it gets tough, it is it's a game changer to have so you can scan around and find fish. That's why people hate it, right? Because if you don't have it, you either catch them or you don't. And if you have live scope, you can still catch them or don't, but you can see them and at least have a little better opportunity to catch them.
Yeah, when it got really tough there at Sam Rayburn, after the really bad like tornado winds, there was 50-mile-per-hour winds, like it was peeling the aluminum off of a lot of buildings down there. I just looked for big bait balls and went scoping, and that's the only way like I caught my limit based on that. Without that I wouldn't have been able to.
Let's see. Worm leap. Oh, sorry, JR. Favorite swim bait had to throw. I was faithful to Greg and everything he made. He's not there anymore. I'm starting to run low. So I would one of my favorite heads right now. I'll show it to you. No, I can't show it to you. My internet. Maybe JR can pull it up. Picasso Smartmouth Plus is the weedless version, but a Smartmouth is really good. But no affiliation at all, man. One of my favorite swim bait heads on the planet right now is Berkeley Fusion 19. They just look sweet. They're awesome. I will tell you that. Let's see if I can find. I know I can grab it on my phone.
Oh, I can do that. The Picasso ones.
Let's see here.
Yeah, there's the Smartmouth. I've got a bunch of the smart-mouth ones.
Again, I like the smart mouth one a lot too. Yeah, so that's a smart mouth. Really like it. This is it's really tough for you guys to see because my camera's so far away. This is a Berkeley Fusion 19. The reason I like these so well is that they have them at like any Walmart. You can go in there and they're always there. 3/8, quarter ounce, eighth ounce. I think, what is it? Dirty Jigs, I think, has some really good ones too.
Yeah, their guppy head's really good, and then there's a specific Matt Robinson one that's really good too. Dirty Jigs is solid company, man. Everything they make is good, but you're going to pay more than what you pay for this that you can get at Walmart. And
right. You know, another thing is, yeah. So another thing that I think, especially with swim baits, if it's not bottom contact, I shy away from tungsten. One, because you're going to lose some of them. Two, you're not looking for that sensitivity. If you're throwing a swim bait head, you know when you get bit. Like there's no like, oh, I think I just got bit. No, normally they freaking chew it. But I would recommend those Fusion 19. I just like the way they look. They swim true. The hooks are nice. They're sharp. They have that, the Berkeley Fusion hooks on them. They're pretty good. Again, the Picasso Smart Mouth, which Borders has over there. I know they have some. I think they have the Dirty Jigs ones too. But those two are my go-tos for sure. But one thing that I will tell you going forward within the next year, which I know is not going to get you through this season, but within the next year, I have well, first off, it's happening now. We're building a new classroom for myself with a $2.1 million grant that I got last year to start an advanced manufacturing program at my school. We're putting over $1 million for the Haas CNC machines in a lab and teaching kids how to use them. And one of the projects that I hope to do in the next year is creating an aluminum bait head mold, whether that be for injection molds or swim baits. And one of the things that I have created is a swim bait head mold. So keep that in mind. And, if I make some of them and they work, I'll hook you up with a mold. You can pour yourself some.
Yeah, that's something that would be really nice, especially if you can. I mean, really, all I use typically is a 1/4 and 3/8. I'll throw an 1/8 or 3/16. Well, I'll throw, if I'm throwing an A rig, I'm going to throw an 1/8 or 3/16 too for spinning. I use that Mega Bass head with the spinny piece. Oh gosh, I can't think of the name of it. I'm going to murder it if I say it wrong or if I say it.
Are you talking about the screw lock head?
Yeah, I can't. It's obviously a Japanese name, but I can't remember the name of it. Let me pull it up. But that thing's pretty cool. I don't want to say something socially inappropriate by not remembering how to say that name.
Yeah, no, I get that. We definitely don't need canceled. We don't have that many people to cancel us, but we definitely.
I know the dozen people that hang out with us on Tuesdays are not gonna. They're gonna get rid of us.
Or maybe we can try to get canceled, and then we'll have like a hot run for about a week, and then we won't be able to be seen again.
Okashira heads; those are pretty sweet.
Are you talking about the one
with bait keeper too? What is it?
Are those tied on a bait keeper? Looks like thread on there.
Yes, they're not a super heavy duty, which sometimes that's a little bit better for me because it doesn't rip the plastic. I like the screw lock ones too, man. Worm, you might try out the VMC ones. VMC has a screw lock one, which I think actually Jacob Wheeler designed. I use those a whole lot, actually. If I had to pick one that darn well might be my favorite, the reason why I like the screw lock is because it keeps the plastic in place. You don't have that sliding, and if you get it threaded on there right, you get more fish out of one piece of plastic.
Also, one of the so I've been throwing a lot of swim baits over the years. Kitech, 100% my favorite, no doubt. Like I would throw a Kitech Easy Shiner every day. I really like them. I like them better than what are they called? swing impacts, I think is what they're called.
Fat swing impact or a swing impact. Yeah.
Yeah. And worm, I would say, yeah, I like the screw lock because it holds the bait better. But if you grab some super glue, throw it in your boat, super glue that head to the front of your swim bait, and you'll be all right. And I also saw something again. I wish for some reason I am able to talk to you guys, but I can't get online, which is weird.
That's the one that I use probably more often than any. I use that swim bait head. It's a VMC hybrid.
But what I was talking about is a buddy of mine who's got me into throwing swim baits years ago at Lake St. Clair. He told me that Big Bite Baits, I'm pretty sure who it was, they have a bait that's similar to the Easy Shiner from Kitech, and the plastic,
Suicide Shad.
Maybe I'll have to look on my stuff here, but so Kitechs are great. They work well, they swim well, they catch fish, but the plastic on them is astronomically soft. Yeah. You catch sometimes one fish on it just wrecks the bait, and you can't do anything with it except throw it away. Like, I literally have a picture, and I won't show anybody the picture online because there's a certain collar that Bradley Saunders showed me. Yeah, that might be it. But Bradley Saunders showed me a certain collar for Lake St. Clair, and he basically swore me to secrecy, and I've never told anybody about it. But I bet you I had 30 swim baits laying in a pile on the bottom of my boat one day from just.
I remember that picture.
And they're like $8 a pack. You know what I mean? There's like $50 worth of swim baits laying there. But he told me that the Big Bite Baits have a similar collar, and the plastics last a lot longer. Has similar action. So you might check those out as well if you're looking for some more swim baits. Again, no affiliation here. We are affiliated with Picasso, by the way, so take that for what it is. But I really like their Smart Mouth. They do have a Smart Mouth Plus, which I have a lot of confidence in. And it's a titanium weed guard. I think there's 3 titanium weed guards that come over the hook. So it's a weedless version of swim bait hook. So you can throw it through some grass or light timber and things.
True Bass has, I hesitate a little bit to say them, but True Bass if you're looking for a hollow body swim bait, True Bass makes a pretty daggone sturdy one too. Yeah,
that's Salzman's brand, right?
Yeah, they're expensive. He actually makes his own swim bait heads too, or his company does, or the company he's affiliated with does. They're pretty solid. I can't say anything negative against him.
Yep. Yeah. No. So it's one of those deals where, I don't know. It's so weird to me. Like, I'm getting all the stuff out of my boat right now for multiple reasons. One, my boat is the dirtiest and least maintained that it's ever been in my entire existence of owning it, and it absolutely drives me bonkers to have something worth that much money. And my boat is really not super expensive, but I'm asking $30,000 for my boat the way it's loaded. And if somebody came last week and looked at my boat, they wouldn't have gave me $12,000 for it, because I've been fishing all winter. We've had a ton of snow and salt, and it was salt and everything was all over my boat. It was just nuts. But anyway, I'm getting everything out of my boat. First off, to clean it totally up, because it hasn't been cleaned top to bottom, back to front, in probably 3 or 4 years of me owning the boat. There's a lot of stuff in the rod lockers needs swept out and all that stuff. But I looked at the amount of tackle that was in my boat, and I looked at stuff that I caught fish on 5 years ago that I've never even touched in the last 5 years. And it's not even 5 years. Berkeley has that, what is it, the Part 108? What was that little crawl bait?
Shape 108.
Shape 108. I bet I got 20 packs of those things. I threw some this weekend. It's great for a Blue Rock Tackle 1099 jig, or a something like that, smaller trailer. But it's just, I just get overwhelmed with the amount of stuff. I buy too much baits, and I fish with the same 10 different baits every time I go, so I might as well just stock up on Zoom and chunk crawls and Little John type R's and some jerk baits, call it a day.
I'm obsessed with soft plastics, and it makes me buy way too much, but I really love them.
Yeah, you guys heard me talking about it earlier. Got a picture coming out on Instagram and Facebook tomorrow. Matter of fact, I called my insurance company today just to make sure it would cover all my rods if I sunk my boat on accident or something, God forbid, worse would happen. And luckily it will. But it's crazy to think about, but at retail prices. Now, first off, I want you to understand that I didn't pay retail prices for these rods. Obviously, we're affiliated with Shimano and G Loomis here, so we still pay for the rods. We just don't pay what the retail is. But I have almost $20,000 worth of rods and reels in my boat. That is crazy.
Fishing's expensive. It is.
It's crazy to think about. Nuts. Man, I mean, it's just so nuts. But anyway, guys, we're going to wrap it up early this evening. One, for the simple fact that we were just kind of rambling on, but JR's wife has some more important things to do on the computer. She's got some doctor work to do, and we're going to be respectful of that so she can let us do this weekly. But got a video coming out tomorrow, Chasing a Coldwater Giant, episode 5 at Greenbow Lake, which was this past Saturday. Didn't catch any giants, caught a couple fish. If you guys are interested in that, check that out. And by the way, thank you guys for subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you're new to the podcast, right now, 5,775 subscribers for the channel, up 220 from last month. 132,000 views this month, which is crazy.
That's awesome. Thank you guys for helping us out.
Yeah, Rob, that's the thing, though. I definitely don't want to do that. Like I said, I called the other day. I called yesterday, matter of fact, because I didn't realize what I have, right? Right now, my garage is locked up like Fort Knox. I have 5 cameras pointed at my garage. Like, I have a security system on it. Like, I'm doing everything I can to protect it. But like, when I started digging rods out yesterday to take them out of my boat and I started looking at them, like, I got like 9 NRX Plus rods in my boat. The rest of them are like IMX Pros and Poison Adrenas, and like, it's just stupid. Like, and I was thinking about buying a new rod this week. Nope, over that. But anywho, we are going to hop off here this evening, guys. Appreciate you guys joining us on this episode of On Another Line Live. We'll see you guys next week at the same bat time, same bat channel. We're going to be talking about some other spring stuff going on. Got some tournaments coming up this weekend. If you're interested, Lewis County Lunkers fishing at Cave Run, 8 to 3 at the Alfrey Ramp. Again, you need a parking pass to do that. Next weekend, there's the Spring Banger. If you want to fish with Lewis County, they're fishing Grayson at the Bruin Ramp. Lawrence County Bass Club will be firing up soon. Pedro Bass Club will be firing up soon. I'm sure River Valley is getting ready to rock and roll too. So if you're interested in getting your hands or feet wet fishing tournaments, I recommend all of those guys. You can't go wrong with any of them. If you're towards the Wheelersburg, Portsmouth area, River Valley is going to be the one for you because that's where they have their meetings down at Freedom Outdoors. Lawrence County Bass Club, I think, has a meeting still on the first Monday at of every month at the South Point Community Center. Lewis County, pretty much you show up and fish. Pedro, I'm not sure about them. They used to have meetings, but I think it's just you can show up and fish there as well. So they all have Facebook pages or Facebook groups if you're interested in doing that. But with that being said, guys, you know the routine. You guys can get out there and lean on them. We'll see you next time on Another Line.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of On Another Line Live. We truly appreciate your support, and we couldn't do it without all the amazing folks at home watching week after week. A big thank you goes out to our sponsors, who help make this show possible. Malone's Marine, Borders Sporting Goods, Solar Bat Sunglasses, Picasso Lures, Shimano, and Columbia Sportswear. Their partnership allows us to keep bringing you the content you love. We'll see you next time on Another Line. Until then, get out there and lean on them.